Inti artikel. Artikel ini membahas tentang gaya bahasa yang terdapat dalam kumpulan cerpen lelucon karya Agusnoor. Terdapat 3 cerpen yang menjadi fokus topik pembahasan, yaitu cerpen Saksi Mata, Koruptor Kita Tercinta, dan Pemalsu Kenangan. Dalam cerpen Saksi Mata, terdapat gaya bahasa simile, metafora, hiperbola, paradoks, dan antitesis. Sedangkan dalam cerpen Pemalsuan Kenangan hanya terdapat satu gaya bahasa, yaitu personifikasi. Dan dalam cerpen Koruptor Kita Tercinta terdapat gaya bahasa alegori dan sarkasme. Penggunaan gaya bahasa dalam cerpen-cerpen tersebut memiliki fungsi keindahan. Selain itu, masing-masing gaya bahasa memiliki fungsinya sendiri-sendiri. Contoh, simile memiliki fungsi untuk mengkonsentrasikan makna yang hendak disampaikan. Metafora berfungsi untuk menghasilkan imaji tambahan sehingga hal-hal yang abstrak menjadi konkret. Personifikasi berfungsi untuk menambah intensitas perasaan pengarang dalam menyampaikan makna dan sikapnya.
The second is the point strength. The point strength in the research of the article entitled Gaya Bahasa dalam kumpulan cerpen lelucon para koruptor karya Agusnoor is about the finding result of utilizing various types of compositions, namely simile, metaphorical, personification, allegory, contrasting types of hyperbole, paradoxical, sarcasm, and antithesis types structuring. The second from those analytic is the implicit meaning. The implicit meaning in the short stories. The first is simile. Based on that article analysis, the simile can be seen as seperti kain rombeng atau kaleng yang begitu penyok. That is the equalization between personal condition with the stuffs. Next, it is explained the implicit meaning, or just I should say the deep meaning. The deep meaning of the use of these figures can state as the living condition of the real eyewitness, an animal that is dog, which has life, simple one. And the second is metaphor. So, as we can see, the metaphor occurred in Kambing Hitam. As you can see, yes, of course, the data shows of using metaphor for the witness. The implicit meaning of the metaphor is namely the dog who is trying to be blamed for cover up the real truth. And the third is personification. Personification is suara bram yang renyah, as that is for the expression but not literally mean that personification is just for the imaginary. Then the implicit meaning is this woman still imagines jokes and the love of her husband Bram, which has its own characteristic. Fourth is allegory. The using figurative language allegory occurs at para koruptor itu sama sekali tidak memahami kalau sesungguhnya korupsi itu sama sekali kalau sesungguhnya korupsi itu sebuah seni. The function of allegory is to provide meaning with short language. The meaning of that sentence, which is allegory within is a corruptor, is just a job that must have a creativity and reliable in everything that is capable of producing success extraordinary. The fifth is hyperbole. From this until the next analysis is included in contrasting figure of speech. The first is hyperbole. Hyperbole occurs at makin liar. The implicit meaning of that phrase is that suspicion doesn't grow widespread. The government felt the need to form a special court who is directly led by the Supreme Judge to hold the trial open by calling the witness to the murder. The sixth is paradox. The function of paradox is concentrating to provide something with short language. I think it is almost same with allegory, but paradox tends to a character who is both charming and rude might be referred to as a paradox, even though in a strict logical sense it's stated two explanations, but two of them are contrasting. The implicit meaning of paradox in the story is, although the nature of madness is annoying, but it is really madness allows art to vanish or release the burden of the mind that we bury. Second is sarcasm. Yes, we know what sarcasm is. The sarcasm is almost like simile, but it shows the imagery of something with other things. But the function of sarcasm is increase the intensity of author's feeling. The sarcasm occurs at wajahnya nyaris sama dengan tembok yang kusam. The implicit meaning of the sarcasm in the analysis is equating a face that was almost same as dull walls, dirty walls. The sarcasm contained in the above quote is how the speaker would describe a crushed face, someone that person that can be concluded that person is not clean. The last one is included in circumvention structure figure of speech. It is antithesis. The antithesis in the short story is showing the phrase that perceives contrast word. It is just like praise, or should I say words tinggi, rendah, keras, kecil. Ya, tinggi, rendah ya terutama. The point is tinggi, rendah. The implicit meaning of that antithesis is every word spoken is just conveying what is known. Intonation and communicating with opponents can affect the message conveyed. Just like humans, animals are also similar in terms of communication. And I think that's all the point strengths. Yeah, the point strengths of the article. Thank you.
Reason that the articles in some parts can be said to be detailed, but some sections appear to be inconsistent, which is that the writer is inconsistent in making statements at the parts of result and discussion, which in the figure of speech or simile. Jadi dalam artikel ini kami menemukan ketidakkonsistenan penulis dalam membuat pernyataan. Di slide itu dikatakan bahwa majas simile ini paling banyak terdapat pada cerpen Saksi Mata, Koruptor Kita Tercinta, dan Pemalsuan Kenangan. Kemudian juga dikatakan dapat dilihat pada kutipan data di bawah ini. Nah, namun pada kenyataannya tidak ada menampilkan majas simile dari ketiga judul cerpen tersebut, hanya disebutkan satu contoh majas simile dari cerpen Saksi Mata saja. Padahal dalam artikel lain di sana dijelaskan semua majas yang terkandung dalam cerpen. Karena ini tujuannya untuk membahas, bukan sekedar memberi contoh majas saja. Sehingga seharusnya sang penulis harus menampilkan semua majas simile yang terkandung dalam ketiga cerpen tersebut, bukan hanya menampilkan satu contoh saja. Okay, for the suggestion, the parts of simile it should be written in a great detail. Jadi untuk selanjutnya mungkin penulis bisa lebih memperjelas lagi secara detail dan rinci tentang majas yang terkandung dalam ketiga cerpen tersebut. Okay, that's all from me.
So, the last is group opinion. From the discussions that we have conducted, we agree that this article has successfully served its purpose. That explain the form of figure of speech, the meaning, and the function that are contained in the short stories that have title Saksi Mata, Koruptor Kita Tercinta, LeluconPara Koruptor, and Pemalsu Kenangan by Agusnoor. This article explains in detail in the form, meaning, and the function of the figure of speech in the short story. But, according to our opinion, the language that used is quite difficult to understand at one reading, because we have to read it more than once, and then we have to focus on reading it so we can understand the explanation. Besides, This article should not only provide one example from the existing figure of speech, but this article should provide more than one example, so that the reader can understand the article clearly. Thank you. Maybe that's all from our group. Sorry for any mistakes. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.